The greatest relationship you'll ever have isn't with another person. It's with yourself. And that single truth has the power to transform your entire existence. For decades, we've been fed a narrative that being alone is something to fear, to avoid, to fix. We're told that finding the one is the ultimate goal, the key to happiness, the solution to all of life's challenges. But what if everything we've been taught about relationships and fulfillment is fundamentally flawed? I've counseled thousands who desperately tried to fill their lives with relationships, believing that was the only path to happiness. Each person I met was running from themselves, avoiding the most important relationship they would ever, the one with their own spirit. They were searching outside for what could only be found within. When you choose to live alone, something miraculous happens. The noise of the world begins to fade, and for the first time, you can hear your own inner wisdom. This wisdom has always been there, waiting patiently beneath the surface of your busy life, beneath the constant compromise and adjustment that comes with sharing your space and your life with another person. Think about all the energy you spend managing relationships, the emotional labor, the constant negotiation, the subtle adjustments to your own preferences to maintain harmony. Now imagine channeling all that energy into your own growth, your own dreams, your own spiritual evolution. That's the power of choosing to live alone. But let me be clear. This isn't about isolation. This isn't about building walls or closing yourself off from love. This is about creating a foundation of self-knowledge so solid that no external circumstance can shake it. When you truly know yourself, when you're completely at peace with your own company, you become capable of deeper connections than ever before. I worked with a man who had spent 20 years in various relationships, always believing the next one would finally make him feel complete. He was successful in his career, well-liked by his peers, yet there was always this gnawing emptiness inside. After his third divorce, he made a decision that seemed radical to everyone around him. He chose to live alone, not as a temporary measure until he found someone new, but as a conscious, deliberate choice. The transformation I witnessed in him was profound. Within months, the desperate need for validation began to fade. He started rediscovering passions he'd abandoned years ago. He began painting again, took up meditation, started writing the book he'd always dreamed about. But the most remarkable change was in his eyes. They held a peace I'd never seen before. This is what living alone can do for you. It creates space for your authentic self to emerge. When you're not constantly adjusting your behavior to accommodate someone else's preferences, when you're not regularly compromising your own desires for the sake of harmony, you begin to rediscover who you truly are. In relationships, we often become so entangled in another person's energy that we lose sight of our own. We adopt their habits, their preferences, their ways of thinking. Sometimes these changes are so subtle, we don't even notice them happening. But over time, they can lead us far from our true path. Living alone allows you to reclaim your authentic rhythm. You eat when you're hungry, not when it's convenient for someone else. You sleep when you're tired, not according to another's schedule. You can spend an entire weekend in contemplative silence, if that's what your soul needs, without having to consider whether someone else might find that boring or antisocial. But the benefits go far beyond these practical freedoms. When you live alone, you develop what I call emotional sovereignty. This is the ability to maintain your emotional equilibrium without depending on external validation or support. You learn to sit with your feelings, all of them, even the uncomfortable ones, without needing someone else to make them better. Many people fear that living alone means being lonely. But loneliness isn't caused by a lack of company. It's caused by a lack of connection with yourself. When you're truly connected to your own spirit, you're never alone. You're in constant communion with the source of all creation, with the infinite wisdom that resides within you. I've observed that people who choose to live alone often develop extraordinary levels of intuition. Without the constant input and influence of another person's energy, they become more attuned to their inner guidance system. They make decisions more easily because they're only having to consult one authority, their own inner wisdom. This doesn't mean they never seek advice or value others' opinions, but they process this input differently. Instead of looking for someone to tell them what to do, they use others' perspectives as data points, always filtering them through their own inner knowing. The journey of living alone also brings you face to face with your shadows. Those parts of yourself you might have been avoiding by keeping busy with relationships. This confrontation, while challenging, is where the real growth happens. When there's no one else to blame for your moods, no one else's energy to absorb or deflect, you're forced to take full responsibility for your emotional state. This level of self-responsibility is tremendously empowering. You begin to understand that you are the author of your own experience. Your happiness, your peace, your sense of fulfillment, none of these depend on another person. They all come from within. One of the most beautiful aspects of choosing to live alone is the quality of silence it brings into your life. Not just external silence, but internal silence when you're not constantly processing another person's moods, needs, and preferences. Your mind becomes... This mental spaciousness allows for deeper insights, more creativity, and a stronger connection to your spiritual nature. Let me share something profound that most people never realize. The universe has an interesting way of testing our commitment to self-growth. When you first choose to live alone, it often sends you opportunities for relationships. It's like a cosmic test. Will you stay true to your path of self-discovery, or will you fall back into old patterns of seeking external fulfillment? This is where most people falter. At the first hint of loneliness, at the first attractive person who shows interest, they abandon their journey of self-discovery. But those who stay the course discover something remarkable. They develop what I call spiritual self-sufficiency. Spiritual self-sufficiency isn't about being independent in the conventional sense. It's about recognizing that everything you've been seeking in relationships, love, security, companionship, understanding, already exists within you. You are complete, whole, and perfect exactly as you are. When you live alone, you start to notice the subtle ways you've been compromising your truth. Maybe you've been dampening your enthusiasm because someone else found it overwhelming. Perhaps you've been holding back your creativity because it didn't fit someone else's. Or you've been suppressing your spiritual practices because they made someone else uncomfortable. Living alone gives you permission to be fully, unapologetically yourself. Want to meditate at 3 a.m.? Go ahead. Feel like rearranging the furniture according to Feng Shui principles. No one's stopping you. Want to spend an entire weekend in contemplative silence? The space is yours. But here's what's truly fascinating. When you develop this level of comfort with yourself, your relationships with others actually improve. Because you're no longer coming from a place of need, you can connect with others from a place of wholeness. You're not looking for someone to complete you. You're already complete. Think about the freedom that comes with this realization. When you know that you're perfectly capable of creating your own happiness, you stop expecting others to make you happy. When you understand that peace comes from within, you stop seeking it in relation. This is true liberation. I've seen people transform their entire lives through the conscious choice to live alone. They discover talents they never knew they had, develop interests they'd never considered, and create lives so rich and fulfilling that others can't help but be inspired. One of the most powerful aspects of living alone is the ability to maintain what I call energetic clarity. When you share space with someone else, your energies naturally blend and influence each other. But when you live alone, you can maintain a pure connection with your own energy field. This clarity allows you to make decisions that are truly aligned with your highest. Consider how many decisions you make in a typical day that are influenced by others' preferences or expectations. What to eat, when to sleep, how to spend your free time. Even small choices carry the weight of compromise when you're in a relationship. But when you live alone, every choice becomes an opportunity to honor your own truth. This doesn't mean you become selfish or inconsiderate of others, quite the opposite. When you're deeply connected to yourself, you develop a natural compassion for others. You understand that everyone is on their own journey and you can support them without feeling responsible for their happiness. Living alone also allows you to develop a deeper relationship with silence. In our noisy world, silence has become rare and precious. But it's in silence that we hear our inner wisdom most clearly. It's in silence that we connect with our spirit. It's in silence that we find the answers to our deepest questions. When you embrace living alone, you create space for this sacred silence. You learn to appreciate the quiet moments, to find comfort in stillness, to discover the rich inner world that exists beyond the chatter of daily life. This journey also teaches you about true abundance. Many people believe that living alone means missing out on life's richness. But those who choose this path discover that abundance isn't about having more things or more relationships. It's about having a deeper connection with yourself and with life itself. Now let's talk about something that society rarely discusses, the profound spiritual awakening that often occurs when you choose to live alone. This isn't just about having your own space. It's about creating a sanctuary for your soul's evolution. When you live alone, something remarkable begins to happen with your energy field. Without the constant intermingling of others' energies, you begin to recognize your own unique vibration. You start to understand what truly resonates with your spirit and what doesn't. Think about how often you've made decisions based on maintaining harmony in a relationship rather than following your inner guidance. Even simple choices, like what music to play, what food to eat, or when to go to bed, are often compromises. When you live alone, every choice becomes an opportunity to align with your authentic self. But there's an even deeper level to this journey. Living alone creates the perfect conditions for what I call spiritual autonomy. This is the state where your connection to the divine becomes direct and personal, unmediated by anyone else's beliefs or practices. One of the most powerful revelations comes when you realize that the love you've been seeking in relationships is already within you. It's not something you need to get from someone else. It's your natural state of being. When you live alone, you have the space to experience this truth directly. I've watched countless individuals discover this. They come to understand that the yearning they felt wasn't really for another person. It was for a deeper connection with themselves. When they finally make this connection, the quality of their alone time transforms from lonely to luminous. Living alone also allows you to develop what I call emotional mastery. Without the buffer of another person's presence, you're forced to face your emotions directly, whether it's joy, sadness, anger, or fear. You learn to be present with each feeling without needing someone else to make it better. This emotional mastery becomes your foundation for true independence. Not the kind of independence that pushes people away, but the kind that allows you to connect with others from a place of wholeness rather than need. The journey of living alone also brings you face to face with your own creativity. Without the distractions and compromises that come with sharing space, you discover new ways to express yourself. Your home becomes a canvas for your soul's expression. Your time becomes a medium for exploring your innate gifts. But perhaps the most profound aspect of living alone is the opportunity it provides for deep spiritual practice. When your space is truly your own, you can create rituals and practices that nurture your soul without having to explain or justify them. You might find yourself naturally waking up at dawn for meditation. You might be drawn to spend entire evenings in contemplative silence. You might discover that your most profound insights come during solitary walks or while journaling in the quiet hours of the night. This is the kind of spiritual freedom that's often difficult to maintain in relationships. When you live with someone else, their energy, their schedule, their needs inevitably influence your spiritual practice. But when you live alone, you can follow your inner guidance without compromise. Living alone also teaches you about true abundance. Many fear that choosing solitude means choosing scarcity. Fewer experiences, fewer connections, fewer opportunities for joy. But those who embrace this path discover exactly the opposite. They find that when they're not constantly splitting their energy between themselves and others, they have more to give to everything they do. This abundance manifests in surprising ways. You might find that your creativity flourishes when you're not unconsciously editing yourself to accommodate others' preferences. You might discover that your professional life takes off when you can fully focus on your goals without balancing someone else's career needs. The quality of your relationships often improves dramatically as well. When you're not dependent on others for your sense of completeness, you can connect with them from a place of genuine interest rather than need. Your friendships become deeper, your family relationships more authentic, and any romantic connections you choose to pursue come from a place of choice rather than necessity. Now let's address one of the most common concerns people have about living alone: the fear of missing out on life's great moments. Society has conditioned us to believe that the most meaningful experiences happen in relationships, that memories are somehow less valuable if they're not shared. But this is another misconception that keeps us from embracing our potential for solo living. The truth is, when you live alone, you become more present to life's magic. You develop what I call sovereign awareness, the ability to fully experience each moment without filtering it through another person's perspective. Think about watching a sunset. When you're alone, you don't need to verbalize the experience or check if someone else is appreciating it the same way you are. You can simply be with the moment, letting it touch your soul directly. This is the kind of pure experience that living alone facilitates. The journey of living alone also develops your intuition in remarkable ways. Without the constant input of another person's thoughts and opinions, you learn to trust your inner guidance system. You begin to recognize the subtle signals your spirit sends you, those quiet nudges that often get drowned out in the noise of relationships. One of the most powerful aspects of living alone is the opportunity it provides for what I call identity alchemy. This is the process of transforming from who you think you should be into who you truly are. In relationships, we often maintain certain personas: the good partner, the compromiser, the peacekeeper. But when you live alone, these masks naturally fall away. Living alone also teaches you about true security. Many people stay in relationships because they believe having someone else in their life makes them safer, more secure. But true security doesn't come from external circumstances. It comes from knowing that you can handle whatever life brings your way. This sense of security transforms how you move through the world. You stop making decisions from fear. You stop settling for less than what you desire. You develop what I call spiritual courage, the ability to follow your truth even when it goes against. Through living alone, you also develop a different relationship with time. Instead of seeing solitary moments as something to fill or escape from, you begin to appreciate the spaciousness they offer. You discover that time alone isn't empty. It's fertile ground for personal growth and spirit. This shift in perspective changes everything. Weekends alone become opportunities for self-discovery rather than symptoms of social lack. Evening hours become precious time for reflection rather than spaces to fill with distraction. Your home becomes a sanctuary rather than just a place to sleep. Living alone also allows you to develop what I call emotional sovereignty. This is the ability to maintain your emotional balance regardless of external circumstances. When you live alone, you learn to be your own source of comfort, your own source of joy, your own source. This emotional sovereignty becomes particularly valuable during challenging times. Instead of reaching for external solutions or distractions, you develop the ability to sit with difficulty, to process it, to learn from it. This is how true emotional maturity develops. But perhaps most importantly, living alone teaches you about love, real love, not the dependent kind that society often promotes. You learn that love isn't about need or possession or completing each other. Love is a state of being that you can access at any time because its source is within you. This understanding transforms all your relationships with family, with friends, with potential romantic partners. When you know that you're complete in yourself, you can connect with others from a place of fullness rather than emptiness. Your relationships become choices rather than necessities. Living alone also gives you the opportunity to develop what I call spiritual rhythm. This is your natural way of moving through life, uninfluenced by having to synchronize with another person's patterns. You might find that your most productive hours are at dawn, or that you do your best creative work at midnight. When you live alone, you can honor these natural rhythms without compromise. Let me share with you what I believe is the ultimate gift of living alone: the discovery of your own inner magnificence. When you strip away the layers of compromise, when you remove the constant negotiation of shared living, when you step fully into your own space, you discover something extraordinary. This isn't about rejecting connection or isolating yourself from the world. Rather, it's about understanding that true connection with yourself, with others, with the divine, can only happen when you're standing firmly in your own truth. Think about the energy you spent trying to maintain relationships that weren't serving your highest good. Think about the compromises you've made that took you further from your path. Think about the dreams you've deferred because they didn't fit into someone else's vision of life. Now imagine channeling all that energy into your own growth, your own evolution, your own spiritual journey. That's what living alone offers you. Not isolation, but liberation. Liberation from the need to conform, from the pressure to compromise, from the exhaustion of trying to be what someone else needs you to be. When you choose to live alone, you're making a profound statement to the universe. You're saying, I trust myself. I value my journey. I'm willing to face whatever arises within me. This declaration sets powerful forces. The universe responds to this level of self-trust by bringing you exactly the experiences you need for your... The choice to live alone isn't a rejection of love. It's an embrace of the highest form of love. It's choosing to love yourself enough to give yourself the space you need to become who you're meant to be. It's choosing to love others enough to stop using them as emotional crutches or distractions from your own growth. The world needs more people who have done this inner work. It needs more people who have faced their fears of being alone and discovered the strength that lies beyond those fears. It needs more people who understand that true power comes not from controlling others or being dependent on them, but from being fully, authentically themselves. As you leave here today, I want you to consider this possibility. What if the path you've been avoiding, the path of living alone, is actually your path to liberation? What if the very thing you've been afraid of is actually the doorway to your greatest growth? Remember, you're not just choosing a living arrangement. You're choosing a path of profound personal transformation. You're choosing to trust that the universe has something magnificent in store for you, something that can only be discovered in the sacred space of solitude. The journey of living alone isn't always easy, but it's always worthwhile. Every moment of loneliness becomes an opportunity for deeper self-connection. Every challenge becomes a chance to develop greater emotional resilience. Every quiet evening becomes a potential revelation. You are not meant to be half of something. You're meant to be whole unto yourself. When you understand this, truly understand it, everything changes. Your relationships become choices rather than necessities. Your time becomes your own to invest in what truly matters to you. Your life becomes an expression of your authentic self rather than a compromise between your truth and someone else's. So I invite you to consider this path, not as a temporary state until something better comes along, but as a conscious choice to invest in your own growth, your own peace, your own evolution. Because when you choose to live alone from this perspective, you're not really alone at all. You're in the best company possible. Your journey to self-discovery begins the moment you embrace solitude, not as a circumstance to be endured, but as a gift to be cherished. Let that journey begin today. Trust that everything you need is already within you. Trust that the path of living alone can lead you to the greatest relationship you'll ever have. Let me share with you what I believe is the most profound truth about living alone. It's not the end of your story. It's the beginning. It's not a departure from life. It's an arrival at your true self. Many of you sitting here today might feel a stirring in your soul, a recognition of truth that goes beyond words. Perhaps you've been feeling this call to solitude, but have been afraid to answer it. Perhaps you've sensed that there's something more waiting for you beyond the comfortable confines of conventional relationships. You're right. There is more, so much more. Living alone isn't just about having your own space. It's about creating space for miracles to occur. It's about making room for the divine to enter your life in ways that can only happen when you're truly available to receive it. I've witnessed countless transformations in people who embraced this path. People who thought they were choosing loneliness but found wholeness instead. People who feared they were choosing isolation, but discovered connection, real connection, first with themselves, and then with the entire universe. The world needs people who have done this inner work. It needs individuals who have faced their fears of being alone and discovered the strength that lies beyond those fears. It needs souls who understand that true power comes not from controlling others or being dependent on them, but from being fully, authentically themselves. Your journey to self-discovery begins the moment you embrace solitude, not as a circumstance to be endured, but as a gift to be cherished. Because when you choose to live alone from this perspective, you're not really alone at all. You're in the best company possible, your own. You're not meant to be half of something. You're meant to be whole unto yourself. When you understand this, truly understand it, everything changes. Your relationships become choices rather than necessities. Your life becomes an expression of your authentic self rather than a compromise between your truth and someone else's. The power of living alone becomes most evident when you understand this fundamental truth. Every moment spent alone becomes a portal to profound self-discovery. Every silent morning becomes an opportunity for innovation. Every solitary evening transforms into a ceremony of self-love. I want you to imagine something for a moment. Imagine waking up in a space that's completely yours. Not just physically, but energetically, a space where every object, every color, every scent reflects your authentic self. Not your compromised self, not your adapted self, but your true self. Now imagine taking that energy of authenticity into the world. When you're grounded in your own being, when you're not carrying the weight of relationship dependencies, you become a lighthouse. Others are drawn to your light not because you're trying to attract them, but because you're simply being who you are. This is what living alone offers you. Not just a physical space, but a spiritual launching pad. It's from this foundation that you can create the life you've always dreamed of. Without the constant negotiation of shared living, without the subtle compromises that chip away at your dreams, you're free to pursue your highest calling. Some of you might be thinking, but what about love? What about companionship? Here's the revolutionary truth. When you master the art of living alone, you don't experience less love, you experience more because you're no longer trying to extract love from others. You become a generator of love. You become love itself. Think about the most powerful figures in history. The great philosophers, the mystics, the innovators, many of them chose periods of solitude not because they were antisocial, but because they understood that certain types of growth can only happen in the fertile soil of solitude. You're not just choosing a living arrangement. You're choosing to join the ranks of these pioneers of consciousness. You're choosing to be one of those rare individuals who dare to discover what lies beyond society's prescribed path. The world desperately needs people who've done this work. It needs individuals who have faced the void of loneliness and discovered that it's not a void at all. It's the birthplace of authenticity. It needs people who understand that true strength isn't found in dependency, but in the courage. Every person who masters the art of living alone becomes a beacon for others. Without saying a word, you demonstrate that there's another way to live. Your very existence challenges the narrative that we need constant companionship to be complete. As you leave here today, I want you to carry this truth with you. The path of living alone is not a path of lack. It's a path of abundance. It's not a path of isolation. It's a path of ultimate. It's not a path of loneliness. It's a path of coming home to yourself. Once you truly come home to yourself, you can never be homeless again. No matter where you go, no matter what circumstances life brings, you carry that sense of home within you. The choice to live alone is the choice to trust yourself completely. It's the choice to believe that everything you need is already within you. It's the choice to stop searching outside yourself for what can only be found within. This is your invitation to step into that truth, to claim your birthright of self-sufficiency, to discover the joy, the power, and the profound peace that comes from being completely at home with yourself. The path is calling you. The universe is inviting you. Your own soul is beckoning you toward this journey of self-discovery. Will you answer that call? Will you accept that invitation? Will you take that first step toward true freedom? The choice is yours. And in that choice lies everything you've been seeking. Your journey begins now. Thank you. Imagine waking up tomorrow as the best version of yourself, the most confident, capable, and unstoppable you've ever been. How does that feel? What does your day look like? How do you carry yourself? This isn't just a daydream. This is the reality I want you to step into right now. When you act as if you are the best and no one is better than you, you unlock a power within yourself that's been there all along, waiting to be unleashed. Now, I know what you might be thinking. Isn't that arrogant? Aren't we supposed to be humble? But here's the truth. True humility isn't about thinking less of yourself. It's about thinking of yourself less. When you act as if you're the best, you're not putting others down. You're acknowledging the divine spark within you, the infinite potential that the universe has bestowed upon you. You're saying, I am ready to shine my light at its brightest. And when you shine your light, you give others permission to shine theirs too. This isn't about comparison or competition. It's about contribution. When you show up as your best self, you inspire others to do the same. You create a ripple effect of excellence that can change the world. So how do we do this? How do we start acting as if we're the best? It begins with your thoughts. Pay attention to your inner dialogue. Are you constantly doubting yourself? Are you comparing yourself unfavorably to others? It's time to change that narrative. Start speaking to yourself as you would to someone you deeply admire. Recognize your strengths. Celebrate your achievements, no matter how small they may seem. Every time you catch yourself in negative self-talk, pause and ask yourself, is this how the best version of me would think? Then consciously choose thoughts that align with your highest self. Look at your posture, your body language. Stand tall. Make eye contact. Speak clearly and confidently. These may seem like small things, but they send powerful signals both to your own subconscious and to those around you. When you carry yourself as if you're the best, people start to treat you that way. They sense your energy, your conviction, your certainty. And here's the beautiful thing. As you start to act this way, you actually become what you're projecting. It's a self-fulfilling prophecy of the most magnificent kind. Acting as if you're the best means taking bold steps towards your goals. It means raising your hand for that promotion, starting that business, writing that book, or whatever it is that you've been dreaming of doing. Stop waiting for the perfect moment. The perfect moment is now, and you are the perfect person to do it. Remember, acting as if you're the best doesn't mean you won't face challenges or setbacks. But when you approach life with this mindset, obstacles become opportunities. Failures become stepping stones. Every experience, whether positive or negative, becomes a chance to learn, grow, and prove to yourself just how capable you truly are. Think about the areas in your life where you've been playing small. Where have you been holding back? Where have you been allowing others to take the lead when, deep down that you have something unique to offer? It's time to step into those spaces with confidence. It's time to let your light shine brightly. Some of you might be wondering, what if I'm not actually the best? What if there are others who are more skilled or experienced than me? My friends, let me tell you a secret. Being the best isn't always about being objectively superior in every way. It's about being the best version of yourself. It's about bringing your unique perspective, your unique energy, your unique gifts to the table. No one else can be a better you than you. Think about it this way. In the vast orchestra of life, you are the only one who can play your instrument in your unique way. Sure, there might be other violinists or pianists or drummers, but none of them can produce the exact sound that you can. When you act as if you're the best, you're not claiming to be better than everyone else at everything. You're simply owning your unique role in the symphony of life. This mindset isn't about competition. It's about contribution. When you act as if you're the best, you're putting yourself in a position to give your best to the world. You're saying, I have something valuable to offer, and I'm not going to hold back. And let me tell you, the world needs your gifts. The world needs your talents. The world needs you to step up and be the best version of yourself. Close your eyes for a moment. Imagine yourself 1 year from now having lived every day as if you were the best. How does it feel? What have you accomplished? How has your life changed? Hold on to that vision. Let it inspire you. Let it guide you. Because that future is not just possible, it's waiting for you to claim it. Acting as if you're the best also means surrounding yourself with people who believe in you, who support your growth, who challenge you to be better. Look at your circle of friends, your professional network. Are these people lifting you up or holding you back? Remember, you are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. Choose wisely. As you embark on this journey of acting as if you're the best, be prepared for resistance. Not everyone will understand or support your newfound confidence. Some may feel threatened by your light. But remember, their reaction is about them, not you. Keep shining brightly. Keep moving forward. The right people, the ones who are meant to be in your life, will be drawn to your energy. Let's talk about the power of visualization. Every day and a few minutes visualizing yourself as the best in your field. See yourself succeeding. Feel the emotions of achievement. Hear the applause, the accolades. Taste the sweetness of victory. The more vividly you can imagine it, the more real it becomes in your subconscious mind. And what the mind can conceive and believe it can achieve. But visualization alone isn't enough. You must couple it with action. Act as if you're the best by continuously honing your skills. Read voraciously. Practice relentlessly. Seek out mentors and learn from them. The best are always learning, always growing, always pushing the boundaries of what's possible. As you act as if you're the best, you'll start to notice a shift in your energy. You'll feel more alive, more purposeful, more aligned with your true self. This isn't about becoming someone else. It's about becoming more of who you truly are. It's about shedding the layers of doubt and fear that have been holding you back and revealing the radiant, powerful being that you've always been. Remember, you are not your past. You are not your mistakes or your failures. You are a being of infinite potential, capable of achieving greatness in whatever area you choose to focus on. When you act as if you're the best, you're aligning yourself with this truth. You're stepping into your power. Now, I want to address something important. Acting as if you're the best doesn't mean ignoring your weaknesses or areas for improvement. On the contrary, the truly great ones are acutely aware of their shortcomings and work tirelessly to overcome them. But here's the key. They don't let their weaknesses define them. They see them as opportunities for growth, not as limitations. Take an honest inventory of yourself. What are your strengths? What are your weaknesses? Celebrate your strengths. Use them to propel you forward. But also embrace your weaknesses. See them as the next frontier of your personal growth. When you act as if you're the best, you're not claiming perfection. You're claiming the power to continuously improve and evolve. As you move through your day, be mindful of your thoughts, your words, and your actions. Are they aligned with someone who believes they are the best? If not, gently correct course. This isn't about beating yourself up when you fall short. It's about consistently choosing to embody your highest self. Imagine the ripple effect this could have on the world around you. When you act as if you're the best, you inspire others to do the same. You create an environment of excellence. You raise the bar not just for yourself, but for everyone around you. This isn't about creating competition. It's about creating a culture of greatness, where everyone is encouraged to shine their brightest. Now let's talk about fear. Fear is often what holds us back from acting as if we're the best. Fear of failure, fear of success, fear of judgment. But here's the truth. Fear is just false evidence appearing real. When you act as if you're the best, you're choosing faith over fear. You're choosing to believe in your potential rather than your limitations. Make a commitment to yourself right now. Commit to acting as if you're the best for the next 30 days. See what shifts in your life. Notice how people respond to you differently. Pay attention to the opportunities that start to appear. This isn't magic. This is the power of aligning your thoughts, beliefs, and actions with your highest potential. As you go through this process, be kind to yourself. There will be days when it feels challenging, when old doubts creep in. That's okay. Acknowledge those feelings, then gently remind yourself of your commitment. Remember, you're not trying to be perfect. You're simply choosing to align with your highest self moment by moment, day by day. Acting as if you're the best also means taking care of yourself. The truly great ones understand the importance of self-care. They know that to perform at their peak, they need to nurture their mind, body, and spirit. So make time for rest. Make time for play. Make time for activities that recharge and rejuvenate you. This isn't selfish. It's essential. As we continue on this journey, remember that acting as if you're the best isn't about ego or arrogance. It's about recognizing your inherent worth and living up to your full potential. It's about honoring the gifts you've been given and using them to make a positive impact on the world. Think about the people you admire most in your field, the ones who are truly at the top of their game. How do they carry themselves? How do they approach challenges? How do they treat others? Emulate these qualities. Not to become someone else, but to bring out the best in yourself. When you act as if you're the best, you start to attract opportunities that match your new energy. Doors that seem closed before suddenly start to open. People who can help you on your journey start to appear in your life. It's as if the universe is conspiring to help you succeed. And in many ways, it is. Because when you align yourself with your highest potential, you align yourself with the flow of life itself. Let's talk about the power of language. The words you use, both in your internal dialogue and in your conversations with others, have a profound impact on your reality. Start using the language of someone who knows they're the best. Instead of saying, I hope I can do this, say, I know I can do this. Instead of I'll try, say, I will. These small shifts in language create massive shifts in your mindset and your results. Remember, acting as if you're the best doesn't mean you have to have all the answers. The truly great ones are always curious, always asking questions, always seeking to understand more. So don't be afraid to say, I don't know, but I'll find out. That's not weakness. That's the confidence of someone who knows they can learn and grow. As you continue on this path, you may find that some people in your life are uncomfortable with your new way of being. They might try to pull you back to your old self to keep you small. This isn't because they don't care about you. Often, it's because your growth is challenging their own limiting beliefs about what's possible. Love them, but don't let their fears hold you back. Keep moving forward. Acting as if you're the best also means being willing to take calculated risks. The greatest achievements in history have come from people who were willing to step out of their comfort zone to try something that had never been done before. What would I do if I knew I couldn't fail? Then go out and do it. Think about your legacy. When you're acting as if you're the best, you're not just changing your own life, you're changing the lives of everyone you touch. You're setting an example for others to follow. You're showing what's possible when someone fully steps into their power. What kind of impact do you want to have on the world? How do you want to be remembered? As you embrace this mindset of being the best, you'll find that your definition of success starts to change. It becomes less about external achievements and more about internal fulfillment. It becomes less about what you have and more about who you are. You start to measure your success, not by how you compare to others, but by how you compare to your own potential. Remember, acting as if you're the best doesn't mean you won't have moments of doubt or insecurity. Even the most successful people in the world have these moments. The difference is they don't let these moments define them. They acknowledge the feeling, then choose to act in alignment with their highest self anyway. Pay attention to the little voice in your head, the one that sometimes tells you you're not good enough, not smart enough, not talented enough. When you hear that voice, pause and ask yourself, is this the voice of my highest self, or is this the voice of my fears and limiting beliefs? Then consciously choose to listen to the voice of your highest self. Acting as if you're the best also means being willing to stand alone sometimes, to go against the grain, to do what you know is right, even when it's not popular. It means having the courage to be uniquely you, even when it would be easier to blend in with the crowd. Now let's talk about gratitude. When you're acting as if you're the best, it's easy to get caught up and always striving for more. But the truly great ones understand the power of appreciation. They're grateful for where they are, even as they work towards where they want to be. So take time each day to appreciate your progress, your blessings, your growth. As you continue on this journey, remember that being the best isn't a destination. It's a way of being. It's a choice you make moment by moment, day by day. It's about constantly pushing yourself to grow, to learn, it's about never settling for less than you're capable of. Imagine for a moment what the world would be like if everyone acted as if they were the best. If everyone fully stepped into their power, fully expressed their gifts, what kind of world would that create? That's the world you're helping to create when you choose to act as if you're the best. You are not here by accident. You are not a random collection of cells and experiences. You are a deliberate creation of the universe, endowed with unique gifts and talents. When you act as if you're the best, you're honoring the divine spark with it. You're fulfilling your purpose, so go forth. Step into your greatness. Act as if you're the best, because in your own unique way you are. The world is waiting for you to shine your light. Don't hold back. Don't play small. Embrace your power. Embrace your potential. Embrace the magnificent being that you truly are. Remember, you are the author of your own story. You have the power to write a tale of greatness, of achievement, of impact. So pick up that pen and start writing. Better yet, start living it. Act as if you're the best, and watch as your reality aligns with that belief. The stage is yours. The spotlight is on you. It's time to shine. It's time to show the world just how brilliant you can be. Because when you act as if you're the best, you inspire others to do the same. And that is how we change the world, one empowered individual at a time. So go out there and be the best you. The world is waiting for you. Acting as if you're the best is a daily practice. It's about making conscious choices in every moment. It's about how you start your day, how you interact with others, how you approach challenges, and how you wind down at night. It's a holistic approach to living that. Touches every aspect of your life. When you wake up in the morning, before you even get out of bed, affirm to yourself, I am the best version of myself, and today I choose to act like it. This sets the tone for your entire day. As you go about your morning routine, do everything with intention and excellence. Treat yourself like someone who deserves the best, because you do. In your interactions with others, whether it's your family, colleagues, or strangers on the street, carry yourself with dignity and respect. Treat everyone with kindness and compassion, not from a place of superiority, but from a place of recognizing the best in them as well. The truly great ones lift others up. They don't tear them down. When faced with challenges or obstacles, approach them with the confidence of someone who knows they can handle anything that comes their way. Don't shy away from difficult tasks or conversations. Lean into them, knowing that each challenge is an opportunity for growth, an opportunity to prove to yourself just how capable you truly are. In your work, strive for excellence in everything you do. Whether you're writing a report, serving a customer, or creating a piece of art, do it with the care and attention to detail of someone who's the best in their field. Remember, true excellence isn't about perfection. It's about giving your absolute best in every moment. As you go through your day, be mindful of the energy you're putting out into the world. Are you radiating confidence and positivity? Are you approaching tasks with enthusiasm and determination? The best version of you is someone who inspires others simply by being in their presence. Be that person. When you encounter setbacks or disappointments, and you will, because that's part of the human experience, don't let them shake your conviction. The best of the best know that failures are not endpoints, but stepping stones. They're valuable lessons that propel you forward. So when you fall forward. Learn, adjust, and keep moving. Acting as if you're the best also means being a lifelong learner. The truly great ones never stop growing, never stop seeking knowledge. They're always curious, always asking questions, always looking for ways to improve. So read widely. Attend seminars, seek out mentors, engage in meaningful conversations. Feed your mind with the best information available. Remember, acting as if you're the best isn't about comparing yourself to others. It's about competing with yourself, about being better today than you were yesterday. It's about setting your own standards of excellence and then consistently living up to them. Don't worry about what others are doing. Focus on your own journey, your own growth, your own excellence. In your relationships, be the best friend, partner, family member you can be. Show up fully. Listen deeply, love unconditionally. The best version of you is someone who enriches the lives of those around them. Be that person consistently, not just when it's easy or convenient, but especially when it's challenging. As you pursue your goals and dreams, do so with unwavering determination. The best of the best don't give up when the going gets tough. They don't let obstacles deter them. They find a way over, under, around, or through. They persist when others would quit. So when you feel like giving up, remind yourself, I am the best, and the best don't quit. In your self-talk, be your own biggest cheerleader. Encourage yourself, believe in yourself. When that little voice of doubt creeps in, and it will counter it with a louder voice of self-belief. Tell yourself, I can do this. I am capable, I am worthy, I am the best. Say it until you believe it, and then keep saying it. Now remember, acting as if you're the best isn't about arrogance or ego. It's about recognizing your inherent worth and living up to your full potential. It's about honoring the unique gifts and talents that you and only you can bring to the world. It's about taking responsibility for your life and making the most of every opportunity. As you go through your day, look for opportunities to excel, to go above and beyond. Don't settle for mediocrity in any area of your life. Whether it's in your work, your relationships, your health, or your personal growth, always strive for excellence. The best version of you doesn't cut corners or take shortcuts. The best version of you puts in the work, day in and day out. Be mindful of the company you keep. Surround yourself with people who believe in you, who challenge you to be better, who inspire you to reach for the stars. The best version of you understands the power of positive associations. So choose your circle wisely. Seek out those who are also striving to be their best selves. In your daily habits and routines, act as if you're the best. The truly great ones understand the power of discipline and consistency. They know that excellence isn't achieved through sporadic bursts of effort, but through daily, committed action. So create habits that support your growth and success. Stick to them, even when you don't feel like it, especially when you don't feel like it. When you face criticism or negativity from others, and you will, because not everyone will understand or support your journey, don't let it deter you. The best version of you knows how to filter feedback, taking what's useful and discarding the rest. You know, your worth isn't determined by others' opinions of you. Stay true to your path. As you achieve success and reach new heights, remember to remain humble. The truly great ones understand that there's always more to learn, always room for improvement. They don't rest on their laurels or become complacent. They use each achievement as a stepping stone to the next level. So celebrate your victories, but don't dwell on them. Keep pushing forward. In moments of doubt or uncertainty, and yes, even the best have these moments, to reconnect with your purpose. Why are you doing what you're doing? What impact do you want to have on the world? Let these bigger questions guide you and reignite your passion. The best version of you is driven by a sense of purpose larger than yourself. Remember, acting as if you're the best isn't just about what you do. It's about who you are. It's about embodying excellence in every aspect of your being. It's about showing up fully in each moment, bringing your whole self to everything you do. It's about living with integrity, aligning your actions with your values. As you continue on this journey of being your best self, be patient with yourself. Change doesn't happen overnight. It's a process, a journey. There will be ups and downs, successes and setbacks, but through it all, keep moving forward. Keep believing in yourself. Keep acting as if you're the best. And eventually, you won't be acting anymore. You'll simply be. Imagine the ripple effect you can have on the world when you consistently show up as your best self. Think about how you can inspire others, not through your words, but through your actions. When you act as if you're the best, you give others permission to do the same. You become a living example of what's possible when someone fully steps into their power. In your darkest moments, when self-doubt creeps in, or challenges seem insurmountable, remember, you are capable of far more than you realize. You have strengths and resources within you that you haven't even tapped into yet. The best version of you knows this and draws upon these inner reserves when needed. As you go about your day, carry yourself with the quiet confidence of someone who knows their worth. Not in an arrogant or boastful way, but with a deep, unshakable self-assurance. Let your actions speak louder than your words. Let your excellence be evident in everything you do. Remember, acting as if you're the best isn't a one-time decision. It's a choice you make every single day in every single moment. It's about consistently choosing to show up as your highest self, even when it's difficult, even when no one is watching. It's about integrity in its truest sense, being whole and undivided in your commitment to excellence. As we near the end of our time together, I want to leave you with this final thought. You are here for a reason. You have something unique to offer the world that no one else can. When you act as if you're the best, you're not just improving your own life. You're fulfilling your purpose and making the world a better place. So go forth with confidence. Step into your greatness. Act as if you're the best, because in your own unique way, you are. The world is waiting for your light, your gifts, your excellence. Don't hold back. Don't play small. Embrace your power. Embrace your potential. Embrace the magnificent being that you truly are. Remember, you are the author of your own story. You have the power to write a tale of greatness, of achievement, of impact. So pick up that pen and start writing. Better yet, start living it. Act as if you're the best and watch as your reality aligns with that belief. The stage is yours. The spotlight is on you. It's time to shine. It's time to show the world just how brilliant you can be. Because when you act as if you're the best, you inspire others to do the same. And that, my friends, is how we change the world. One empowered individual at a time. So go out there and be the best you. The world is waiting for you. It's your time. It's your moment. Seize it with both hands and don't let go. You are the best. Now go out there and show the world what that really means.